What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. WBC light heavyweight champion David Benavidez, aka the Mexican Monster, will move up 25 pounds to take on unified cruiserweight champion Gilberto Ramirez. Now, Benavidez is undefeated. Ramirez has lost one fight to pound-for-pound fighter, number one guy at light heavyweight, Dimitri Bivol, in a competitive decision loss. He is the top guy in the cruiserweight division. I know you got some people out here saying that Joe Apatow is the number one guy in the cruiserweight division. When you look at the Ring magazine rankings, he's ranked number one. I believe Ramirez is ranked number two, but based on competition, in my opinion, Ramirez has beat better fighters in the cruiserweight division. He's got two belts. Apatow had one, don't even have that no more. Lost that because he signed with Zuffa. But that's neither here nor there. I think Ramirez is the best guy in the cruiserweight division. And if Benavidez is successful and defeats Ramirez, that's just another feather in his cap. A guy that is currently ranked number 10 in the pound-for-pound rankings. I think he would definitely be a guy that be looking to move on and take on the top guys in the light heavyweight division. When the next Ring magazine pound-for-pound rankings come up, I'm sure if he gets to win tonight versus Ramirez, he definitely will move up. Nakatani, he lost today to Inoue. That's not a bad loss. That was a competitive fight. I had that fight 7 rounds to 5, so I don't think Benavidez should necessarily jump Nakatani. I think Nakatani is at 8, and I think Benavidez is number 10. But he definitely would deserve to move up, if he gets the victory versus Gilberto Ramirez. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Now, as far as the fight goes, I like Benavidez to win this fight. I think his volume, his output, the pace that he said is going to be a little bit too much for a calculated fighter in Ramirez. He's a guy that's very, very crafty in the ring. He's a very, very solid fighter. I probably had to grade him, give him a solid B-plus level fighter, but he's fighting a guy that's an A-level fighter. And I think he's going to show in this fight that there's levels to this, and he's going to basically, in my opinion, overwhelm Ramirez to a unanimous decision. I don't think he's going to stop Ramirez. Now, if he does stop Ramirez, then that's going to be a statement. And then all this talk about him possibly one day moving up to heavyweight to take on Alexander Usyk, that's not going to be a talk that people can laugh at. People can quickly dismiss. They're going to have to say, well, maybe he can move up and take on a guy like Usyk and be competitive with a guy like Usyk and maybe even win against a guy that everybody should know is in the twilight of his career, even though he's fighting at a high level, that being Crazy Eyes Usyk. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But the thing about Ramirez, man, he liked to lay on the ropes too much, in my opinion. In his last fight against Dorticas, which was a quality opponent, that fight took place on the undercard of the Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight. He was laying on the ropes too much. He was doing a lot of good work off the ropes, but that's a recipe for disaster, fighting David Benavidez like that. You cannot be laying on them ropes trying to get your James Toney on versus David Benavidez. That's not going to work. He's just going to overwhelm you with his volume, and he's accurate. You think you slipping punches and stuff like that, you're not going to be slipping punches with him. He's very accurate with those short shots. He's got that little short, accurate hook. You know how people throw those double jabs? He throws those real good double hooks, real within close range. He was killing Anthony Yarde with those double and triple short hooks. He's going to be hitting them with thumbs and things like that if you're laying on them ropes, man. You can't be doing that, man. He's a good puncher as far as going to the body. He's got a good jab. He kind of reminds me of George Foreman. Very tall guy, throws 30 punches. He don't have that one-punch knockout like Deontay Wilder or Ernie Shavers or Mike Tyson, but his punches have debilitating effect on his opponents. Look what he did with Kyron Davis. Kyron Davis got more heart than any fighter I knew in boxing. He ultimately took his will. They threw in the towel in that fight. He punished David Lemieux, a guy that outside of the fight with Triple G had never been dominated like David Benavidez did to David Lemieux. He beat David Morrell down. David Morrell, to this day, in his fight after that, ain't been the same. We'll see how he looks against Callum Smith, but based on what I seen in this last fight, David Benavidez definitely took something out of him. He was a top-level fighter at 168. He got Canelo Alvarez making more excuses than a man going to jail, saying, oh, man, I don't want to fight that guy. What do he bring to the table? The only thing he brings to the table is 25 pounds on fight night. And it's kind of ironic that David Benavidez is going up 25 pounds to take on the cruiserweight champion, number one guy, in my opinion, Gilberto Ramirez, going down in Las Vegas, Nevada, a.k.a. Sin City. Who you like in this particular matchup? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I like Benavidez by unanimous decision. I know Benavidez is saying that he wants to stop Ramirez. Ramirez has never been stopped so far in his career. He ain't even been dropped so far in his career. So if he's able to do that and stop a guy that ain't never been stopped or dropped, he'll be getting this Mike Tyson on. Remember when Mike Tyson fought Michael Spinks? Michael Spinks had never been dropped before. He ain't never been stopped before, and Mike Tyson stopped him in 91 seconds. So if he's able to put on that type of performance and stop a guy that has shown to be very, very durable, a guy that's very, very strong-minded, got a will to win, a guy that only loss he took was to, in a lot of people's opinion, all-time great in the light heavyweight division of Dimitri Bivol, that would definitely be a feather in his cap. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But I think a lot of people are kind of overlooking what David Benavidez is actually attempting to do. He's trying to go up 25 pounds. 25 pounds. He's coming up from 175 to 200 to take on not just some, top 10 guy in the division. He's taking on arguably the number one guy in the division. If you say Opetai's is the number one guy, okay, number two guy in the division. A guy with 2 belts in the cruiserweight division. A man going up 25 pounds to test his skills against a guy that's naturally bigger, a guy that's not a stiff, a guy that's very fluid in the ring, a guy that's very, very crafty, a guy that has got a lot of big wins over the likes of Jesse Hart's, a guy that's also beaten Dorticos, who's an underrated fighter. He's got a lot of quality wins, man, and he's a guy that knows his way around that square circle, and it ain't no easy work with anybody that steps in the ring with the guy. And just look at his resume to back up what I just said. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. I got David Benavidez by unanimous decision. Something like an 8-4 win over Gilberto Ramirez. Hopefully Ramirez does not come in this fight in the same shape that he came in his last fight against Dorticos. He came in kind of flabby in that fight. He was able to get the win over a C-plus level fighter, Dorticos. But if he comes in that type of shape versus Ramirez, versus Benavidez, then Benavidez's prediction just might come true, as he's predicted before this fight, that he will stop Ramirez inside the distance and put on another dominating performance. If he's able to do that, then again, he's doing some pound for pound type of stuff, if he's able to pull that off. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. If you're Ramirez, you got to use your physical advantage. You're the bigger guy. You got to push Benavidez back. You got to make him fight going back. Make him uncomfortable. You lean your weight on him being a naturally bigger guy, like a Tyson Fury has done throughout his heavyweight career. Use your weight to your advantage. If you're able to do that, maybe tire out Benavidez and take over the fight in the second half of the fight, that's your path to victory and winning the fight by decision. I see no scenario where Ramirez stops Benavidez. Don't see it. Don't see it. But a lot of people didn't see Muhammad Ali stopping George Foreman in the rubber in the jungle. So maybe he can do the rope-a-dope, because he does like to lay on the ropes, but I don't think that's going to work against Benavidez. Benavidez, unlike George Foreman on that fateful night in Zaire, Benavidez don't waste punches. Benavidez don't swing for just fences on every punch. Benavidez ain't going to let you get in his head. Benavidez is going to make every punch count, and it's going to be accuracy and a lot of power behind it. And he's going to be a guy that knows how to apply pressure, and he knows how to systematically break down his opponent. So we will see what happens, and We will see what transpires. Again, let me know your thoughts. Who you like in this particular matchup? Do you like Benavidez or do you like Ramirez? As Benavidez is going up 25 pounds. 25 lighters on my dresser. Yes, sir. I'm trying to get paid. Yeah, he's getting paid tonight, and he's looking to produce another legacy type of performance and become a multi-division world champion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Who you like, Ramirez or Benavidez? If you like one or the other but knockout, let me know that as well in the comment section. Follow me on Facebook, Gerard Briscoe. Follow me on TikTok at JB Sports. New media, follow me on Twitch at Briscoe MA77071. Follow me on Instagram, JB Sports 9707. Follow me on my 2 YouTube channels. That's plural, not singular. At JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend, 9656. And at JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend, 8000. And like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. And I'll holla.